Alright guys, this is our video on how to start drawing for our supersize. So first of all, you're going to pick an object that you want. I'm here at school, so I picked some random objects just for teaching. I would probably pick something that's a lot more interesting to me from home, but I'm just going to use these. So I got this mouse, and I want to show you the easiest way to draw. Is basically you trace it. So I want you to trace your object, if you can. Some of your objects that you choose, you won't be able to, but trace it the best that you can. I'm going to make a little mark here. And I'm going to make a little mark here and a little mark here because that's wherever this color goes away. And around there and around there. So now I know that my little Microsoft piece goes here. And it has Microsoft right there. And I'm just going to go real fast. It has that little slider right there. And right here I made my mark for this thing that goes like this. So you basically trace your outside. And then you add a little bit of detail so that you know what it is. Okay? I'm going to trace it one more time. And then I'm going to get my bottom. And I'm just going to sort of draw what I see. This is the label, the little lines and the barcode. And this is my little thing right there. And then it has this big thing right here. It's a little button. It has a little power button here. It's got a gap, another little button, and then it has a little kind of like box thing here. It's another one of these smiley things back here. And then it has a big block like that. So those are your drawings. They're basic drawings. They don't have a lot of detail, but I can tell what it is by looking at my object. Okay? So oh, and I forgot the little button here on the side. This little gray one. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So now it's measuring time. This is not going to be super accurate because we traced it. But if I go here, if you look at a ruler, I don't know what kind you have, but these are millimeters. And if you have a tiny, tiny object, use millimeters. If you have a small object like mine, then use centimeters. And I'm so sorry, these are centimeters. I'm so sorry. Use the centimeters for small objects and use the inches for big objects. So for this, I'm going to use centimeters. And now I know that this thing is 3 centimeters. So from here to here is 3 centimeters. And from here all the way to where it touches the edge is 8 centimeters. So from here to here, right there where the color changes, it's 8 centimeters. And then this little Microsoft thingy is 5.5. So from here to here is 5.5 centimeters. And my little button, it's about 2 centimeters. So that's what you do with the whole thing. You measure it out. So when I build to make this thing real large, instead of 3 centimeters, I'm going to do 3 inches. Instead of 8 centimeters, I'm going to do 8 inches. And I'm going to end up with a mouse that's pretty big. It's going to be about a foot big. So when I put my mouse next to my new mouse, it's going to be quite bigger. And if I want it super big, I could, multiply all these by 2. So that's 6 and that's 16. Yeah. Sorry, that's 6 and that's 16. So I would make it 6 inches later, and I would make it 16 inches later. And I would have a really, really, really big mouse, not like a really little, like a moderate size mouse. So that's how you do it. I want you to start measuring. Now, I did a couple other ones just to show you how to measure. I just took a pair of scissors and I traced it. I'm going to add another line right here to the pair of scissors, just extra on my own. And I'm going to go right there, and that's 0.5 centimeter. So this thick part is going to be 0.5 centimeters. The metal part, I'm going to add my thickness right here just because that's where I messed up on my drawing to kind of cover it up. This metal is 0.25 centimeters. Okay? So I'm getting to see how big everything is. This right here, the 8.5 centimeters. This whole thing is 8.5 centimeters. From here to here, where this little circle is 7 centimeters. These little words, this little block of words is 0.5 centimeters. The opening of the scissors, where my hand goes, it's about 2 centimeters. So right here is 2 centimeters. This blue thing, it's 7 centimeters here to here. So that's what I want you doing. I want you to measure this out like you've never measured before and get all the details. I have this other little, eye drops on my desk. My eyes get really dry, so I have eye drops. And so I did the front and I did the back, and I would go ahead and start measuring if this is what I wanted to supersize. If, let's say, you were doing something big, like the drill, then get a bigger piece of paper and trace it. And I would not use centimeters for the whole drill. I would use centimeters for like the small pieces. They're going to be easy to measure. But then for the big pieces, like this right here, the chuck right here, the whole thing is 2 inches. I would just use inches. And it's going to be a little hard when you have 2 measurements to supersize. So let me step back on that and use the same measurement for your object. For this big one, I would use inches. And here I would just go and say it's, 1/2 inch. And this label here, it's 2 inches and 1/4. So do inches so that you can supersize real big. Again, if you do centimeters, when we supersize, instead of 8.5 centimeters, we're just going to go with 8.5 inches, and it's going to grow dramatically. If you decide to do inches, so let's say that we did the drill, and I'm not going to draw a good drill because I'm just going to go real fast. And, there's a drill, sorry. And let's pretend this was 6 inches. And let's pretend this right here was 4 inches. And this right here was 2 inches. And our label was 2.5 inches. And our little box right here was, 1/2 inch. And, these little circles, each one was 0.5 inches. And this one was 0.5. And then the handle part, let's say this whole part was 4.5 inches. So you see, you get the measurements so that you know what to build. For supersizing this, I would choose a number. I would be like ×2. And then I would do all these ×2. Oh, sorry, the battery ran out on this charge. So I would do, let me turn that back on. I want you to be able to see the picture good. I'm sorry. So what I would do, I would choose a number and I would multiply it. So this is 2 inches. 2 times 2 is 4. So that's my new number. 4 times 2 is 8. So that's my new number. 6 times 2 is 12. So that's my new number. So now that I have them, I can multiply everything by 2 and then multiply all these by 2. And that's my new number, the way I'm going to build it. This is going to be really important for you not to lose. If after you finish it, I would seriously take a picture on your cell phone. You have to turn this into a Canvas. It is a test grade. So that way I can print it for you if you need it. But this is going to have about 2 or 3 days of thinking, of you planning. We're actually going to spend about 2 or 3 class periods just measuring this up and then enlarging it to scale. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Please send me messages or ask me if it doesn't. Have fun. Thank you.